Hello, welcome back to Pages into the Past. This time we are working on my Western Steampunk vest. And so what I've decided to do is I'm going to use this pattern, only instead of making the full jacket, I'm only going to use the vest pieces. So just the front, the back, and the side back. I've already used this pattern before, so I know how it fits, and it's already cut out. I normally cut my paper patterns like that out to the fullest size, but when I do that, I also remember to not cut down all the sizes, so that if I need to make this for somebody who's smaller, I still have all of my size lines and I know how far out my tags come. So the fabric that I'm using is, I'm still going to be using the faux suede as the outer shell fabric, but because the inner shell, I don't want it quite as warm, I didn't have quite enough of this fabric. So the side back and the back will be the scissor fabric, and then I found this faux dupioni that's a fairly close tone. It's a little bit more yellow on my camera screen, but I think that when I put it all together as one, it'll work really well. And when I put this together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew each of the shell pieces, the lining versus the outer, and then I'm going to attach them. I'm going to sew up at the armhole. So what I'm going to do is I will stitch around the armhole, and then I will stitch around the rest of the jacket, but I will leave the side pieces open so that I can pull it through. And the reason I'm saying that now is because if I forget, then I can kick myself and say, well, you told yourself to do it, self. And then the last part would be to sew up those side seams, and then the vest will be done. And then if I choose to decorate it, put some of my leather strapping on, or just leather decoration, or maybe a leather pocket, I can add all that when it's all done. So I'm going to start stitching this together and I'll show you how I pull it through. All right, guys, I have sewn the lining and the shell together, and I trimmed my corners and I clipped my curves. And so this is where I wanted to show you. Now I have sewn all the way across the bottom, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up inside here to this front piece, and I'm going to pull this through the side piece here, and I'm also going to do this to the other side, the other front, because I've also stitched along the bottom of the front. And I'm going to pull that through. You're only going to pull everything through one side piece, because you can't really pull it through both side pieces because that just doesn't really work well. And so then what you have is your front piece here, and this is open here. This is your side. And so you can go through and you can get your corners, do your top stitching. Here's the back. You can see that there's holes on both sides here. And so once you get it all done and all stitched and top stitched and whatever you're going to do to the front, then what you're going to do is you just put right sides together, and you stitch the front as far around as you can go, and then what you're left with is an opening in the lining that you just hand stitch closed. So I'm going to work on that. You keep working on what you're working on, and I'll be back soon. The next phase of my Western Steampunk cowgirl outfit is I need a hat. And this is an old straw hat that we've had lying around many years ago. I poorly covered this for my husband for an event, and it's dusty, it's dirty, it's not super clean. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the covering off, see what the hat inside looks like, and see if I can use that for my Western cowgirl outfit, and see if I can put some steampunk elements, or if I need to recover it, or we'll just see what happens once I get it all torn apart. All right, guys, so ta-da! Here's my Western outfit. Ta-da! Ta-da! Actually, not quite sure what else I'm going to add to it, but this is a start. You can see how I've got the little panel insert here. I made that little vest. You know, it was 2 side backs, a center back, and 2 fronts. And then my hat, I'll give you a close-up on that, has different little collections. All my swag from different events or things that we made at events, like my husband made this. And of course I swiped it. So yeah, so all right. So a couple things that still need to be added. I need to do like a bolo of some sort for the neck. Probably a little bit more decoration than just the one piece here. I'm going to try to make a cup holder to hang off the side here. If not, I have a couple that I've already made or bought that I'll use. No umbrella, because this is what I got my big hat on today. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching, and keep on sewing, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.